Hello, and welcome to the dungeon. I'm your host, Rob. In today's video, I was originally going to do our Hulk build, but that's still coming up. Instead, I figured I'd talk about our current Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign that we just started. We've only done 2 sessions so far, and it's been a lot of fun, but I'm not sure I've been fun to play with because I haven't exactly been at my best, which I'm not proud of. But, I've been kind of a whiny little B-word. But anyways, that's not the issue. So we decided to, our DM, Mike, he wanted us to roll for stats. And I decided I wanted to play a sorcerer, specifically a Sorlock, I think. Because I haven't played one, like, actually ever. I've mostly DM'd, so I've been playing a bunch lately. But, Warlock's my favorite class, everybody knows. Sorcerer's one of my favorite. It's something I've always wanted to play. And even though I talk about this kind of multi-class build a lot, we've never actually had anyone at our table who's actually done it and hasn't really done like the crowd control type of thing that I want to do with it, right? So I kind of wanted to make an Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, and I was originally thinking Genie Warlock, but I think I might just go Hexblade because even though Genie's great, Hexblade's even better. And we'll get into that in a second. But basically, I wanted to use a bunch of area crowd control spells like, say, Web or Hunger of Hadar, which I can get from the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer list. I don't even need to take a lot of Warlock for it. And then just use things like Repelling Blast to push people into my persistent crowd control and possibly damaging effects and things like that. Then you've also got things like just being able to cast Eldritch Blast with another quickened Eldritch Blast on top of that. And, you can pump up a lot of damage that way. You do have things like Hexblade's Curse, which is pretty good with spells like Magic Missile and Scorching Ray. Anything along those lines I thought would be kind of fun to try. So that was a general idea, especially when I was first thinking about the character. So our DM wanted us to roll for stats, because we don't really roll for stats often, and rolling's kind of fun. And as most of you know, rolling also has the potential to make some really, really great characters. Rolling tends to give you the highest point distribution. Of course, there's always a chance that you'll just roll terribly and have really low stats, which is what I did. So my character was named Mu, M-U. I made him a sorcerer. I went with custom lineage, which is really just mostly because I needed more intelligence or more charisma. So we rolled for stats. I got a 13, 2 10s, an 8, and 2 7s. So my highest stat is a 13. And I'm like, okay, well, if I put 13 into my charisma, I can get the +2 from custom lineage. That puts me at 15. If I take a feat like, say, Fey Touched, I could get 16 and have a feat on top of that. I'm like, sure, everything else sucks. I'm going to have 10 con and 10 dex. So I'm going to be sitting with 6 hit points and 10 armor class. That is not great. But at least he's got charisma. We'll just kind of go with it. And sometimes terrible characters can be a lot of fun. So that's what I was kind of hoping for. Anyways, the adventure starts. We also have a ranger. We didn't have our cleric yet. We had the cleric this session, but game 1, we only had 3 of us. So we have my warlock, sorcerer, who's currently just a sorcerer. We've got the ranger, and we've got a rogue. And we're tasked with exploring this haunted house and clearing out the vermin. We end up fighting a bunch of... Oh, there's going to be spoilers for Ghost of Saltmarsh. In fact, I'm probably just going to call this video Salty in Saltmarsh because I was a very salty individual for 2 straight game sessions. So I apologize to the rest of my playing group right now. I probably did it back then too, but just in case I didn't, I'm apologizing now. Anyways, we nearly lose the rogue to a bunch of weasels before we even get into the house. We get into the house, we get like in one fight, my character gets immediately knocked unconscious in like 1 hit, of course, because I've got 6 hit points and 10 armor class. And I think he crit me too, because I was like, well, at least I got the shield spell. I took shield and sleep as my 2 spells, but, it didn't help. Anyways, I end up not dying. We start exploring the house. We find this like wardrobe and foolishly, I decide to open the wardrobe, get exposed to yellow mold, fail my saving throw, of course, nearly die. Fortunately, we had a potion of healing, so the party managed to save me. And at this point, I'm starting to grumble. And like I said, not my best moment. But anyways, I'm kind of complaining about my character and just kind of sucking in general. Plus, like at this point, every time we open something or explore something, people are like nearly dying, and I was like, why am I even touching anything? This is getting ridiculous. But anyways, I start making several comments about how I'm hoping that Wu dies so I can make a new character, and the DM didn't like that much, which I understand, right? But finally, he's just like, look, just roll up a new character. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, Moo's just gonna die. I don't have to try to kill him. I've got 10 armor class and 6 hit points. I'm going to die. Yeah, don't worry, I don't have to try to get myself killed. It's just going to happen naturally through the course of this adventure. But he gets mad, so finally he's just like, just roll a new character. So I'm like, okay, fine. But I still want to play a Sorlock. So I'll just like make Moo's brother. And Mike, probably a very smart move, knowing my love of hot Asian women, he's like, why don't you just make it his sister and make some like hot K-pop chick? And I was like, fine, I can do that. And thus was born Ningning, the sister of Moo. So I roll up Ningning's stats. She's also a level 1 aberrant mind sorcerer. I didn't get any 18s, 17s, or 16s, but I did roll 4 15s, a 14, and another 7. So I put my 7 into strength. I put 15 into dex, con, and charisma, as well as wisdom, because what else was I going to do with it? I put the 14 into intelligence, because I was a scholar, so I figured I might as well be literate at the very least. I went variant human, because Mike doesn't like custom lineage much, and it was making me angry. So I was like, fine. I'll go with variant human. So I put +1s into my constitution and dexterity. I still kept the Fey-touched feat and threw the +1 into charisma. So now I've got 16s in those, 15 wisdom still, 14 int, and my 7 strength. We got a couple of jobs doing like day labor as well, but Moo only had 7 strength as well. So clearly this family lineage is just not cut out for physical labor. So obviously, Ningning's not doing physical labor either. Plus, she's hot. She just gets men to do it for her. Come on, that's the way of the world. Anyways, so I figured, since Ningning was far superior to her brother, clearly got the good half of the genetics there in that family, but her luck was basically no better. So we're still only level 1. We're exploring the house more. At one point, we foolishly decide to touch something and nearly die again, of course. We get attacked by a bunch of Sturges. We roll initiative. I roll a 19. And I've got a +3 bonus from my dex. So I'm sitting at 22. Our friend Troy, who's not actually playing in this campaign, but he was on vacation this particular week. We're now into week 2. So he just came to watch and have fun and hang out, right? So Mike's like, well, you can roll all the dice for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to cast sleep on these Sturges. They got like 2 hit points each, something like that. No problem, right? There's only 6 of them. Boom. Fight's over. Troy's like, okay, well, I'll just break them into 2 groups of 3. Rolls for the first 3, natural 20. They also have a +3 bonus. So they're going at 23. He rolls for the second group, another 20. And by the way, we're not using a DM screen, right? These rolls are just out in public. So everybody sees he just rolled back-to-back 20s for their initiative. So even with a 22 initiative, I am now going 7th in the combat round. Spoiler alert, I did not get to cast sleep because the Sturges start flying everywhere. The cleric gets immediately crit. She goes down. The ranger, he's got like 2 of them on him, but they're both rolled for garbage damage, and he's got a high con and D10, so he's all right. He's still up. He's in pretty bad shape. The rogue gets hit. He loses all of his hit points except for 1, but he's still up, and he's got a Sturge sucking on him, so that's not great. And then there's like a couple left, and it said that they try to target people who weren't hit yet, right? And of course they can fly, so even though I'm trying to stand further back, it doesn't matter. It just flies over there. And Troy goes to roll, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I took mage armor, so I'm sitting at 16 armor class, and I've got the shield spell. He, of course, immediately rolls another natural 20. So don't forget, he rolled two 20s for the initiative. He rolled a 20 on the cleric, and now he rolled a 20 on me. One shot, I go down. I'm not dead, but I'm bleeding out, and I've got a scourge on me. So we managed to live. The ranger and the rogue managed. The ranger is going melee, and he had polearm mastery. So fortunately for us, this guy's just cleaning things up right now. He's just, attacking, kill something. Bonus action, kill something. Next round, kill something. Bonus action, kills another thing. Oh, something flew into my reach. Reaction, kills another one. He is just killing everything. Thank goodness. So we barely managed to survive. We're now taking like our third long rest, and we're level 2. We've barely done anything. We've already nearly died like 4 times over. But it's okay. We end up clearing out the attic. So then we decided to go down into like the basement area, right? We, of course, immediately nearly get killed again. I can't remember who nearly died. Might have been the ranger this time. I can't remember. No, it wasn't the ranger. I think it was the rogue. The rogue ends up going down. But we got the cleric. She's not down this time, so she manages to heal him. Everything's good. We find this like secret door that leads into these like caves or something underneath. So we go through that, and we, of course, end up fighting a bunch of skeletons. Fortunately, the cleric manages to turn the undead, and we just crush all the skeletons while they're all feared, right? So no big deal. We're sitting pretty good right now. We still got some spell slots left. We've used a few, but we're doing all right. We're looking around. All of a sudden, the secret door opens. Someone comes through, and immediately one-shots the cleric again. So our cleric's unconscious, making death saving throws again. And then the rogue ends up taking a bunch of damage. He doesn't go down, but he's not doing great. I think I ended up getting knocked unconscious at some point again, because I distinctly remember thinking at one point, look, I have probably made more death saving throws tonight than I've made attack rolls, which is just not great, to say the least. But we managed to survive all that. We even found some poor prisoner guy and freed him, good old Ned. I remember his name because it's like Ned Stark. And we're preparing for our big final battle, and then we realize it's actually pretty late and we should probably stop because we've probably got a lot to go. So we're gearing up next week for part 3, I guess. We're still level 2. And I just remember thinking all day at work today, I was like, my original plan was I was going to go Aberrant Mind and I was going to go Genie, just because I wanted to try something that wasn't the Hexblade, right? And the whole day I'm just thinking, I could really use medium armor and a shield right now. Now I've only got 7 strength. Maybe I can't even wear half of it. I can't remember. I can't remember what has strength limits and what doesn't right now. It's pretty late at night. I'm not going to bother to look it up. Also, all my books. My wife and I are selling the house and moving, so stripped everything out and sent it over to the new place. But anyways, I just remember thinking though, I'm like, I really like the Genie Warlock. It's cool. I like the bottle. You can store stuff in it. But I could really, really use some medium armor and a shield. I really don't feel like dying. I like my character. I love the name. It's just such a fun name to say, even Ningning. I just need to live. That's what I'm thinking to myself the whole day. Medium armor, a shield, Hexblade's Curse, maybe even being able to take Booming Blade and a sword for a couple levels if I feel like going that way. I do have Misty Step from Fey Touched. I'm not saying it's a great strategy, but it's not the worst thing that if something attacks you, you can hit it with a Booming Blade and then Misty Step away. That's not so bad, all things considered. And I'm like, yeah, thinking I'm going Hexblade again. But I was planning on going 5 levels of Sorcerer first so I could get my 3 third level spells, get counter spells, stuff like that. But after recent events, I'm getting really hard to stay on target. And I was like, I should maybe just grab medium armor and shield as soon as possible. Although, to be fair, it probably wouldn't have helped me so far because I've, nearly died to yellow mold, which was a saving throw, no hit roll there. Oh, I found a dead body and armor in the middle of the room, and since nobody else wanted to examine it, I decided that, who better than me? I mean, I've got cloth armor and D6 hit dice. I'm the perfect person. And of course, as soon as I try to move the body, I get infested with like rot grubs, and the party has to save me yet again. And I'm just like, did I not tell myself earlier? Stop touching things in this house. Everything you touch is a death trap. Do not touch anything. If at the end of the mission, it's like, oh, you guys missed all this stuff. It's like, nobody cares, Mike. We're still alive. That's all we care about right now. Everything we touch is booby-trapped. So, you can't blame us for not exploring anymore if exploring just punishes you. But anyways, that's a just completely random aside there. But yes, I nearly died to rot grubs as well, which is not fun. So hopefully we survive the haunted house, come back, maybe even get level 3 at some point. That would be nice. And I'm still planning on taking my 5 levels of sorcerer first to get 3rd level spells. But boy, oh boy, it's getting hard to convince myself that I couldn't really use some medium armor. But like I said, the Sturge also rolled a 20, so better armor class wouldn't have helped me there either. And even the first one went down, I think I got crit. So, I mean, that was with Wu, of course, not with Ningning. But still, wouldn't have helped him either. So, on the surface, it's like the medium armor and shield will really help. But the truth is that it wouldn't have helped on anything that's almost killed me so far. But I still want it, so who knows? I'm going to try to stay the course, wait till level 5, take my 2 levels of Warlock, maybe eventually a 3rd level of Warlock, but I'm probably just going to go with 2. And like I said, the plan is to grab like spells like Web, push people into the web, grab things like Hunger of Hadar, which I get from the Aberrant Mind spell list for free, so that's very nice. Push people into that, etc. And just do a lot of like crowd control, and also you've got some pretty nice damage on top of that, which is by no means a bad thing to have. So overall, I think it'll be a great character. I'm just at those early, let's be honest. Neither wizards nor sorcerers are really great at low levels. I'm not saying that sleep isn't great. I'm not saying they don't have a few really, really standout spells at like level 1 and 2, because they do, But overall, you've got terrible armor. Even if you're using something like mage armor, that is requiring one of your spell slots, and you don't have a lot of spell slots at that level. 2 if you're at 1st level only. So that's not great. You don't really have any armor options. You've got the worst hit dice in the game. Those early levels can be really, really rough because you just don't have a lot. But on the upside is if you survive those early levels, Wizard and Sorcerer are 2 of the best classes in the entire game, in my opinion. So, it's that early vulnerability versus late game. Not even late game, but really from like level 7 on, you start really kind of starting to shine. Level 9, you can get Wall of Force or Wall of Stone or something. Like those spells are complete game changers, So, I mean, even by like mid levels, you're starting to really, really kind of put everything together and be good. But, right now, level 1 and 2 have been not good. Better for Ningning than Moo, but not by a lot. Also, Moo would have died if I hadn't re-rolled, because he would have been one shot by the Scourge crit. That would have done him. He would have been over twice his health gone. But, what do you do? Anyways, that's basically everything. I do plan to make more updates, so it has been a fun campaign despite my grumbling and, general lack of like, oh my goodness, not again. Oh, why did I look at something? Oh, why did I touch anything? What was I thinking of? Why didn't I take Mage Hand? That's another reason to go Warlock faster. I should have taken Mage Hand. Or I could just get the 4 Sorcerer and replace Light or something like that. Light, who needs lights? Even though I don't think any of us have dark vision. Not a single one of us. But, such is life. Anyways, that's the basic idea of the video. If anybody else has any ideas or suggestions or just comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section. I'd love to see people's spell selections. I'm not opposed to just taking a bunch of damage spells in addition to the crowd control spells, right? That is one of the nice things about something like, say, the Hexblade's Curse is that, like, unlike the Hex spell, where now you're casting a leveled spell, which means you can't use it with a magic missile or a scorching ray or anything of those natures, the Hexblade's Curse is an ability, not a spell, and therefore does not have that same problem. So feel free to stack it with, whatever damage spell of choice you want to use, which is pretty awesome. So I do like that idea a lot. Obviously, having better armor would help a lot. It would allow me to replace mage armor as well, get rid of that off my spell list because I won't need it anymore if I have better armor. So, those things are all good to have. Anyways, that's everything. Feel free to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and as always, I will see you in the comments section. I'll also try to be a little more diligent about making videos lately. Things have been kind of crazy because we're trying to sell our house and everything else, but, and then I have to try to keep the house in, like, presentable show home levels of cleanliness, but whatever. We have an offer. Hopefully everything goes through and we can sell this place, and hopefully next time you'll see me from a different venue. But anyways, that's everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.